Good morning, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. I was kind of waiting on Leslie to bring something up from my office, but we'll go ahead and start with that. We want to welcome you to Fiscal Court, and as is customary, we like to open with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Charlotte Keeney if she would be so kind as to open us up this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. If you all have received a copy of those, do you have any changes or recommendations?
Motion to accept.
Motion?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item then on the agenda will be the Lake Cumberland Health Department tax rate presentation. If you'd like to step forward.
Hi, I'm Bridget Bender from the Pulaski County Health Department, and I'm presenting the tax rate the local board approved this year for 3 cents per hundred of the assessed property value. And this has not changed since last year. I've given you all the minutes showing the board approving the tax rate, and I'm asking that you accept the tax rate.
We just need to make a
minutes.
note that we have been presented, right?
Yep.
We
That's
don't
it.
need to approve it. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And then next we've got Charlotte Keeney with the Pulaski County Public Library, the annual report and tax rate presentation.
Good morning. I passed out everyone a copy of our report that we bring to the court that we're required by House Bill 1. If you'll look at that report, we fed 13,273 kids this past summer. We participate in the summer feeding program. Of course, we've talked about this before with the county school system, and they're so generous to do that through the summer and help us feed these children. We had 4,710 programs at the main and at the branches this past year. We had 103,703 people attend those programs. So I just wanted to give that to you all so you could have that. Now, on to the tax rate. The tax rate, the board has approved, it came in at the same that we had last year, which is 6.6, and that's what the library board has set the tax rate for the year.
Good job. What was it?
6.6. Yeah, you should have a paper. Did you get them
Here,
on paper?
Jimmy. Looks like that.
Yeah.
I have extras.
Thank
Anybody else need any more copies of that?
you. I got one.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Keeney?
Just want to thank you for doing a good job on this.
Thank you all.
I hear good things about it all the time.
We have new children's. I'll bring her sometime and introduce you all to her, Miss Monica DiCarlo.
And we'll let the record reflect that we received the tax rates. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to old business. We've got Alex Wilson with RidgeNet here with us today. If you'd like to come forward, Alex, we've got your proposal here.
Okay, so does everybody have a copy of the statement of work, essentially the contract that was presented to Steve and Dan?
I've got that copy from RidgeNet. Basically now, Alex, my question is, and if we use your services, we're gonna probably end up transitioning in some different areas here. We don't
Yes.
have any actual quote for work inside the building. It's just kind of helping Ross with things that he's incapable of here that goes beyond his scope.
So Ross had actually mentioned this earlier. When we do say that we do come in to help you all out, initially we'll be doing a lot of transition work, like you just stated, getting everything up and running to where it needs to be. So that will require us to be here for a couple of days to kind of get that all done. And essentially once that beginning work is finished, say 5 months down the road, if you were to have a problem and Ross or whoever you've got on staff here can't fix it, they would then contact us, and then we would send somebody out at that point, same day, to get that resolved.
And so is this, I read through that, but it's kind of like almost a retainer. We're gonna buy, do we purchase in advance 5 hours of time and then?
Yeah, so you would
For support?
you would purchase that 5-hour block, like we talked about in the meeting. So you all would probably have that 5-hour block each month. And then if we were to run over time, say you use more than the 5 hours in that month, then you would either have to do another block of time or do an hourly rate. But, you know, as we talked to you all, you kind of wanted to stick with that 5-hour block of time, and see, you know, what we could do from there.
Okay.
If we don't use the 5 hours the month before, and then we use 9 hours the next, does the hours carry over, I guess is what I'm asking?
Well, if you used your 5 hours, so you would have to purchase another 5 hours for the next month. And if so, say, you know, first month you use the 5 hours and that's all you use,
Yeah.
then, you know, you go to the next month, you buy another 5 hours.
Okay.
And you use 9, you would have to either buy, like, once you use that 5, you can either buy another 5 block for the same month, or you would pay an hourly fee to cover those other 4 hours.
So if I use 2 hours this month, does 3 hours carry over to the next month if I got 8 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure about that?
I believe so.
I mean, I'm not questioning you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so.
when I read it, I took it that the minimum's 5 hours and you pay for 5 hours no matter, and whether you use it, you lose it or use it or lose it, basically is the way I
Well, in the
read it.
meeting, Dan, when you talked to Eric, how did he discuss that with you? Because, I mean, to my understanding, you would have to buy that 5-hour block.
We do have a 5-hour, but if we don't use it,
Does it carry over?
some of that time can carry over.
Okay, I didn't.
That was my question, to see, you know, if we could do that. But I'm sure we'll use,
Essentially,
All of it anyway.
you will most likely use
Yeah.
that time, yeah. So 5 hours won't go. I mean, that's how we kind of discussed it, you know, to Steve and Dan, you know, 5 hours, you're going to use a lot of that in the initial startup time. I mean, you're gonna probably go over in the first month or two. Now, 8 months down the road, probably not. You know, you're not going to have many issues at that point. But the initial month, if we were to start, there's going to be a lot of work to do. So that's just kind of something to look at there. And it's hard to say how much time you really will use. It just depends on what all we have to do once we get in here.
I had another question. Looks like there's 2 areas of services you're providing, one for managed IT services, and that's where you buy time in the blocks.
Yes.
And then you've also got another technical services fee. So is that in addition to the managed IT services fee?
And what page are you referring to on that?
Page 9.
Page 9, okay. Let me double check here. Okay, no, so you would just be paying the $750 fee because there it's noticed void up at the top for any other fees. So everything that we'll do will be under that block of time. Maintenance fee, everything's kind of intertwined in with that
Okay,
fee.
so-
So that's the only fee. Just that the hourly pay is all you'd be looking at. Essentially, whether that's a block of time or whether they go over and have to use hourly.
For both technical support and managed
Yes,
IT? You're paying for one block of time, basically?
Yes, and
There's
we
not-
take,
Okay. And then down at the bottom under payment schedule,
uh-huh.
on that same page, do you read that to say that actually a block of time, it says blocks of time become active upon receipt of payment expiring 1 year from the receipt date? Does that, instead of things that's carrying over from month to month, it sounds like the block of time would really carry over for a year.
Well, that's if you will go with any of the higher packages. So basically, when this contract was wrote up and it was discussed in the meeting with Dan and Steve, that we were going to kind of work with them to do the 5, because we usually don't do month-to-month basis with blocks of times. You know, usually they'll require you to get so many for 6 months or whatever. As you can see there, the 5-hour block of time at the top is listed for 6 months. So that's usually how we do it, but we're going to work with the county and do as they had requested, month-to-month basis. So with that block of time, it would still expire each month. And then the payment would be due, of course, up front each month.
Right.
Essentially,
So-
before that would
so-
be active.
Well, and I'm not meaning to be too technical,
Yeah,
but
no, I understand.
if we don't work all this out now, then I don't want it to be an
Exactly.
issue down the road. Then you go over on the next page, on page 10, and under item 3, block of time expiry. Blocks of time are only valid for the term set, then they shall expire, requiring a new managed IT services block of time. I take that to say that it's only good for a month, because you're buying it in blocks of time for a month, or the county would be.
Yeah, so, well, essentially, like I said, they're gonna be buying more than one block at a time. So for that time to expire is not gonna really happen. Now, after that, we had talked in the meeting for the rollover agreement, but essentially, they will be buying at least a 5 block of time each month, because that time is gonna.
I know that's
will
what they'll
used
be
up.
buying,
Yeah.
that's the minimum they can buy, but my question is, if they don't use it, I think we need to clarify that it rolls over, because this item number 3 is inconsistent with payment schedule
Okay.
on page 9. The way I read it, page 9 says, basically, it's good for a year. Page 10 says that it expires, is only valid for the term set, and the term set is, as I understand it, it's a monthly term.
Of
It's
course.
a block of time per month, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we need to probably clarify that.
Okay. And we can do that, we can change that, actually, and get that done today.
Yeah.
As far as that on the contract, so,
Now, let me ask you one more question, if I may.
okay.
Up above that, of course, us lawyers always look at how you get out of contracts as well as getting into them. Under term, item number 2, term,
Yes.
it says it shall be effective upon signature by both parties and continues in effect for the shorter of the period necessary to complete the services, includes and shall continue in effect for the shorter of the period necessary to complete the services for 1 year unless terminated earlier as specified in this section. But there's no specification of how you could terminate it earlier.
So
we need-
basically, I mean, once your block of time runs out, it would essentially be up to them whether they want to continue, because they're buying month to month, so.
So is it a month-to-month contract?
Well, basically, it depends on if they want to buy the time or not and what they want to sign up for. Because we had advised them to go with a higher block of time that would last as stated. Because, like I said, we had to kind of work with them against what we regularly do. So we had advised that it would be better to pick a higher block of time that would last, say, for several more, for the 6-month period as it's usually quoted. But they didn't want to go with that, so we're kind of doing a month-to-month basis to work with them in conjunction with that.
Well, I guess we need to add language in that paragraph
Okay.
that says that it can be terminated by the court upon 30 days written notice.
Okay. We can do that. That won't be a problem at all.
And then that gives both sides an understanding of how we can, yeah.
Yeah, and we can get that fixed today. That
All
won't be a
right.
problem.
Thank
Have a
you.
new contract printed. So.
Thank you, Martin, you asked good questions.
Is there any other questions I can answer for anybody else as far as what we would be doing and things like that? I mean,
Wait them to.
The court can go ahead and approve it if you want to.
Subject to those changes.
Subject to those changes, yeah, if you want to. I'll look it over, you can send it to me.
okay, we can do that. Not a problem.
Motion.
Motion to approve it with the changes.
Motion, you make a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have to talk louder over, I can't hear you.
It just barely whispered
I'm
there.
getting old too.
So we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? So we'll, vote would be to accept this, subject to the changes that Martin has mentioned. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Alex. Okay, next item on the agenda, I want to read a letter to you. I don't know if you all, I just received the copy. I knew it was coming, but I just got it this morning, but I'll read it to you. from D. Bruce Orwin, attorney at law for Burnside Council. It says, Mr. Kelly, please be advised the city of Burnside intends to strike territory known as PC Park from its city limits and to return it to the county. This letter serves as our notice pursuant to KRS 81A.440-2A. A copy of the city's intent to strike ordinance is attached. Please note Pulaski County has 30 days to object to this action by the city of Burnside. If no objection is received in this time, Burnside shall proceed to striking the above referenced territory. If you have questions or concerns regarding the contents of this letter, please do not hesitate to contact me via email or phone. And sincerely, this will be Jesse D. Fries, an attorney with law offices of Bruce Orwin. My recommendation would be that we go ahead and send a letter to them saying we do not object, and not even wait 30 days.
Motion.
Got a motion to do that?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Maybe we can put that little rift to rest in the Pulaski County.
Thank goodness.
All right, next item then on the agenda will be we've got a resolution for a lease for CAECO. We discussed about the purchasing 2 trucks on this lease program. We have Mr. Pekar here with us today. If you have any questions, I think you all kind of understand what this is all about, though I didn't know if you wanted to talk to Mr. Pekar, if you all wanted to go ahead and vote on this resolution.
Make a motion, we pass the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Thanks for coming, Scott. Sorry you had to make the trip.
When will these trucks be available?
Pardon?
When will these trucks be available?
Tomorrow.
Great.
We can't get them this evening?
Well,
No.
if I can take 2 drivers back to Lexington with me, it can happen today.
We can make that happen, too.
All right, next item then on the agenda is a resolution adopting the Pulaski County Solid Waste Management Plan, 2018-2022 update. Danny, do you need to speak to that? If you want, you can go ahead and give your report while you're up there too, if you have anything.
Every 5 years, the state requires us to present a 5-year solid waste management plan. I advertised on the August 1st that the plan was available to be read, and if anybody had public comments, we would have a session on August 31st. At that, they had till August 15th to get with me if they wanted to do that, and they haven't. So this solid waste management plan hasn't changed in the last 15 years. We just basically update it into new forms that the state requires us. So just have to bring it today to get a resolution to put with my report so I can turn it in to the Division of Waste Management on September 1st.
You're okay with this resolution? I mean,
We have a motion and a second to accept this resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Then I have 3 names for part-time hire starting tomorrow. The names of Chris Lynch, Brittany Phillips, and Coy Ridner.
can we do them all at once? Motion.
We have a motion and a second to hire the part-time workers for solid waste. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thanks.
Motion carries. Thank you, Danny. Next item then on the agenda, we've got a first reading. We've got to do our personnel policy and our administrative code. Basically, this is going back actually to the way it was previously, with the understanding that the financial part of that will be enforced the way it was not being enforced prior. So we want to keep keep a good system in place, but we gotta put it back and then make sure that we follow up to enforce what needs to be enforced with the vehicle policy. So I'm proposing option 3. I don't know if you all even got the options, but basically it puts it back the way it was, and that'll be the first reading for personnel policy. Do we actually need to read that, Martin, or just?
No, you can summarize it, and I think you just did.
Okay, well, good.
I mean, yeah,
So we don't need to vote on the first reading, do that on the second
we
one?
need to vote to
Advertise.
expend the funds to advertise.
Okay, so we need a motion then to advertise, to have a second reading.
Motion to advertise.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and likewise, we'll do the same process with the administrative code, and basically those are just to make sure that they harmonize one with the other. We'll need permission to advertise
Need a
for
motion?
the administrative code.
Need a motion? on
Yes.
that? Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Let's see, and we've got it says a road committee appointment. Is this for which roads?
Waynesboro Drive and Waynesboro Circle.
They amend that then?
Yes.
All right, then we'll need a couple of y'all to volunteer to go and say they're wanting to take those roads out of the county system, so I'll need the committee to
Okay, I'll go.
take that.
Yeah.
Glenn
Put me down.
and Jason will go on that, okay?
Bring your boat.
Y'all report to us, then we'll set up a hearing for that.
Okay, what about that Reed Mill Road we went out and looked at the other day?
It's not, is Reed Mill on there? It's not, we're not, we'll get your report and then we'll have a hearing
Okay.
on both of those whenever we get them both done. Let's see, our treasurer's not here, but she's asked me to submit the supplemental bill list to you for approval. You all got a copy of that? Our treasurer normally doesn't miss meetings, but her brother passed away, so she's out of state for the funeral, so keep her in your prayers.
Supplemental bill list?
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the supplemental bill list. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. That brings us into our department reports. I don't see sheriff with us today, do we? Jailer's not here today. Coroner, do you have anything for us today? And Linda, do you have anything? Stacy, Public Safety?
The Bronson Fire Department wanted to surplus a 08 vehicle last night at the Fire Commission. We wanted to ask permission to surplus it back to them. They wanted to get rid of it and use the money towards another vehicle purchase, I think.
Motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second to surplus the fire truck for Bronson. Any further discussion?
For surplus it and give it back to them.
Okay, I'm sorry, surplus that and get it back.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to make sure that's,
Yeah, I think they was going to sell it or trade it in on another vehicle.
All in favor?
I don't
Any
wanna be a
opposed?
magistrate. I don't want to be a magistrate.
Okay. Road Department, Jordan, you have anything?
First thing be, I guess, approval for September rock, 3,000 ton of various rock.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second for purchase of 3,000 tons of rock. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
The second being approval of the road work. And I wanted to note too, Jimmy brought it to my attention, that's oversight on my part. This month we'll be working on our prep for our blacktop roads. That's something in each district we're gonna be trying to work on, and I forgot to put that in there on the road work. So,
We need to,
what was it now?
blacktop prep, just getting roads ready for blacktop.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting shoulders off, stuff like that, trying to get ahead of Hinkle. I forgot to put that in there on our road work.
What about, Glenn had asked me, there are 100 ton, we still getting 100 ton of blacktop to patch with, or what?
Hot patch.
I've not run anything through for that. We have some left over in each district, is why I've not done that. I
We'll
think
take it
you.
down Hill Road and put it on it, I mean.
Or
they're
two,
needing
huh?
it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think each district has a little surplus of some blacktop.
Okay.
So then when we use that up, just, he'll bring that to us for approval for more.
Sounds good.
Do we need a motion then for the road work request?
Motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Let me, quick question, Goosetown Bridge, just for the benefit of the public here, when will that be ready to?
Traffic it's open traffic right now.
Okay.
There are a few little things we need to touch up on. Of course, at some point in time, we'll have to go back and blacktop the approaches to the bridge, when it has enough time to settle. But it's open for traffic.
I just want to publicly commend you all. You did a great job on installing that bridge. If you haven't, most of y'all don't see that bridge, but it's a pretty big project they did. Our road crew stepped right in and really did a great job on that bridge. So I want to commend them for that.
Appreciate it. We've got a lot of good qualified individuals and they don't care to work, so appreciate that, Judge.
911, Eric?
I just want to let the court know, we applied for the grant with the 911 Services Board a couple months back. We've got that approved for around the amount of $26,000, so hopefully in the next 4 to 5 months, we'll have that up and going. So that'd be an integrated system into our systems we already got, so that just complement what we already have there. So.
That's great.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, brings us into our animal shelter. Nothing today. All right, well, gentlemen, that's all.
No.
Oh, I've got some, I'm sorry, I do. I had a note here. I've got some personnel appointments. Sorry. I'm about ready to pass those over. I've got a few appointments to make today. First one is we have Vicki McQuarrie, who is our floater flex right now, but she has actually been actively working in the occupational tax office for over a year now. And I would like to make her permanent in occupational tax. And also Kim Norfleet, we might need to do these separate, but she is part-time seasonal at the park. And we'd like to move her to that floater flex position so that we can keep her year-round as a full-time employee. So do those need to be voted on separately?
Yes.
Okay, so first I'd ask that we would let Vicki McQuarrie transfer into occupational tax.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and then the second motion then would be that Kim Norfleet, who is from part-time seasonal, be allowed to come in full-time as floater flex.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And then at our road department, we've got 2 openings I want to try to fill. I would like to recommend Nick Forbes to start at our road department. I guess he would start on the next pay period.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
When is the next pay
Any
period?
opposed?
So I can call him and tell him he wanted me. You might know?
Next Monday.
Huh?
Next Monday.
Next Monday? Okay. That's when you want him?
Whenever he comes.
Or if he needs to give 2 weeks' notice.
He's good. He works for Richard Deck, you know.
What's he gonna be doing at the road department?
Labor.
Skill.
Yeah.
And then one other recommendation I'd like to make that would, as a operator, that we would bring in Jerry Childers.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
And that was Jerry's.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Is it Becky's?
Jerry Childers.
Is it Becky's, Jerry? I don't think she knew that. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Or we had a little surprise. She didn't know her husband was gonna come to work for the county. All right, so now, any further business from you gentlemen? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion, we have a second? Second, all right, all in favor? Any opposed? What did we do?
No, we haven't took a
You
vote.
ain't took a vote yet, so you can still. Right, Martin? Oh, you should have all you.
For all opposed, somebody opposed then, right?
Yeah.
Any opposed to adjourning the meeting? All right, opposed. All right, so let's open one more item. This wasn't in my packet. Okay, this is qualifications for inclusion in the county road system. All right, this is is this just amending the?
The court did
Previous.
this, I don't know, a year or two ago for a period of time to take 3 miles of non-conforming roads, or 3 miles within each district into the county road system of non-conforming roads. These are the qualifications that the court had previously adopted for inclusion of roads in the county road system. Items 9 and 10 involved the requirements of blacktopping and the minimum thicknesses and that sort of thing. So the last time they excluded those two items, items 9 and 10, and any roads that otherwise would conform to 1 through 8 could still be taken in
Okay, so.
as non-conforming
The
roads.
same ordinance, just new qualifications.
It's not an ordinance, it's just amending the qualifications.
That need to require a vote?
Yes.
Okay. You all got a copy of this? Do we have a motion to accept that?
Motion.
Got a second? A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries.
Put that on what it mentions there, but jury's gonna give 2 week notice, I don't know. We need to put him a 2 week start date on there, do we need to do anything on it or what?
Jerry Childers will be the next pay period.
He's gotta give 2 week notice, sir.
Not the upcoming, but the following.
Did you identify him as operator?
Yeah.
Okay, now we take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you.